The region has also experienced 2 hurricanes in the fall, putting further stress on the conditions in these countries and the circumstances that are facing individuals. And all of this is taking place during a global pandemic that has impacted other countries' economies, placing undue hardships on its people, just as it did in the United States. So there are also a range of factors that are leading individuals to come to the border.
So that's why we're having the crisis. I'm so glad she explained that for me. That's Jen Psaki, White House press secretary, moments ago, telling the press corps, well, it's because we had 2 hurricanes last year that there's thousands of people. I mean, isn't that how they got the T-shirts? Did the hurricane just drop the Biden let us in T-shirts? That must be the answer. Blue Anon, it's real. They are gaslighting you. Now, she may believe it, but you know the truth. Welcome, my friends, to the Salem Radio Network with me, Sebastian Gorka. We have an amazing show for you today. Somebody maybe will make an announcement about running for office. I don't know. He's a former SEAL. He's a good guy. Former Governor Eric Greitens will be joining us. It's Tuesday, which means Lord Conrad Black will give his analysis of the latest news. I might just have to ask him about the whole Meghan Markle thing. Did you see Piers Morgan? He's out of a job. Did he resign? Was he fired? Who cares? He walked off the set. If you walk off the set, never a good thing. He did so because of the Meghan Markle storm in a teacup. Do we have to talk about it a little bit? We'll talk a little bit about it. Then Andrew Cuomo, five accusers already. We'll ask Greg Jarrett of Fox News his analysis. Is there a future left for Fredo's brother? I don't know. He seems to be caked. He seems to have multiple layers of Teflon on him, but maybe one more. Maybe 2 more accusers. And it's good night, Vienna. We shall see. And, of course, your calls on 833-33-GORKA, G-O-R-K-A. That's 833-334-6752. But first, as I see his face, as I see his round moon face come up on the screen, we have Fox News on in the studio. It reminds me of a story I didn't get to yesterday, which I desperately wanted to, and it's about Karl Rove and the president's response to Karl Rove. I mean, President Trump's response to him. So, Karl Rove wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal where he criticized President Trump and especially his speech at CPAC, which even if you're not a fan of Donald Trump, you have to. Well, you don't if you're a lib. But if you're objective, you have to say he's one of the best speeches he gave. Karl Rove, allegedly a Republican, had this to say about President Trump's CPAC speech 2 weeks ago. Elements of Mr. Trump's speech. Why would you call him Mr. Trump? I mean, even ambassadors get to be called ambassadors for the rest of their lives. But you're not going to call him President Trump as a Republican? Yeah, I think we get your number. Elements of Mr. Trump's speech were fine. But true to form, the former president did it his way. The speech, divisive, controversial, and embittered parts dominated the coverage. Embittered? Such as what? And dominated the coverage. Oh, you mean by the mainstream fake news legacy media? And that's what we measure things by? That tells you more than anything who Karl Rove really is. Because, you know, he's reading the New York Times. He's reading the Washington Post. He's switching on CNN when he doesn't have that stupid whiteboard up in front of the Fox News cameras. Well, here's the response from President Donald J. Trump. Quote, oh, something happening. Let's let the fire engines. Can you hear that on the mic? Okay, then I shall proceed. Quote, Karl Rove has been losing for years. He's a RINO of the highest order who came to the Oval Office lobbying for 5G for him and another group. After lengthy discussions with Rove and Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, I said no, they're not qualified. Our nation can do much better. What is Karl Rove doing coming to the Trump White House lobbying for 5G? I wonder if it was Chinese 5G. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? I think that story has yet to be written. Here's the last part. He's a pompous fool with bad advice and always has an agenda. Now, that last line is the crucial line. And specifically the second half of it. Forget about the pompous fool, because he's a pompous fool. But the fact that he always has an agenda is the most important thing that's been on my mind for months now. We need people to stand up for this country who don't have an ulterior agenda. What was Donald Trump's agenda? Did he make money out of his presidency? He lost money. His corporations lost money. In fact, I wonder if Biden has given back his pay. Well, we know he hasn't. Donald Trump gave back his pay as president. Every single quarter, he returned hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year over the 4-year period to the American taxpayer. Why? He didn't need the money. He didn't do it for the money because he lost money. And thirdly, he didn't do it for the fame. How famous was Donald Trump before he became president? I mean, truly, amongst titans of industry, how many were as famous? How many had their last name as a brand? Not even the competitors, not even the Murdochs of the world, not even the Gates or the Bransons. There's no Branson brand. There's no Gates brand. Trump is a brand. So he didn't do it for the fame either. So what was the agenda? It wasn't his agenda. It was your agenda. That crucial moment from 2016. Let's actually play the cut. That's when he really won the election against Hillary Clinton. Video cut 1. Play cut.
My opponent asks her supporters to recite a 3-word loyalty pledge. It reads, I'm with her. I choose to recite a different pledge. My pledge reads, I'm with you, the American people.
That's the real moment when he won the election, when he showed Hillary Clinton for who she is. The nominee of a cult-like party that demanded loyalty and the repetition of the phrase, I'm with her. Instead, he said, I'm with you, especially the forgotten men and women of America. That was his only agenda, to make sure that you and your families are safe and that you all prosper, whether or not you voted for him or whether or not you even voted. That's what we need more of. That's what we need to find throughout America. People who have that agenda, America's agenda, not China's, not the DNC's, not the media's, but your American agenda. And those are the people that we need to add to the Trump train and the MAGA bench. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is America First, the Salem Radio Network, broadcasting from the ReliefFactor.com studios. Next, Greg Jarrett, here, live.